Evolutionist claims of bad design is evidence that evolution belief is incoherent and irrational. A common argument atheists put forward against the idea of design in nature is the bad design argument. This claim asserts that examples of what they perceive as suboptimal or inefficient design in nature are evidence against the existence of a designer. However, this reasoning collapses under scrutiny when we apply it to other domains of human experience and logic. The bad design argument, a flawed premise. First, let us analyze how this argument is structured. The atheist claims that because certain features in nature seem less than perfect, whether in the human body, other organisms, or environmental systems, this is somehow proof that no designer is involved. The core of this argument rests on the assumption that a perfect design should have no inefficiencies, flaws, or less than optimal elements. However, when we take a rational approach to the question of design, this logic falls apart. Consider any human-designed object: a car, a house, a building, an airplane, a boat, a computer, software, or a semiconductor device. No rational person would claim that if a flaw or inefficiency is found in any of these objects, this is proof that the object was not designed. Imperfections do not deny design. For example, imagine a car with a suboptimal fuel efficiency or a design flaw that leads to frequent breakdowns. These are clear examples of bad design. But would anyone seriously argue that the existence of these imperfections is proof that the car was not designed at all? Of course not. It would be illogical. The mere existence of a flaw does not negate the reality of design. The car is clearly a product of human engineering, regardless of how well or poorly it functions in certain respects. Similarly, a house may have poor insulation or structural issues that make it less durable in certain climates. Again, no one would claim that this proves the house was not designed. The fact remains that someone drew up blueprints, planned the construction, and assembled the materials to create the structure. The same logic applies to all other artifacts, such as airplanes, boats, computers, and software. Each of these items can exhibit flaws, yet we universally acknowledge that they were intentionally designed. Application to nature. Incoherence of the no design claim. If we apply this principle to nature, we see the irrationality of the atheist argument. Even if one were to grant, for the sake of argument, that some elements of biological organisms appear to be less than perfectly designed, this in no way proves that no design exists at all. The presence of imperfections, inefficiencies, or even apparent bad design does not logically entail the absence of intentional design. For example, the human spine is often cited by critics of design because it is susceptible to injury due to its upright posture. Yet, this vulnerability does not negate the fact that the spine is an intricately structured system that enables a wide range of motion, supports body weight, and houses the spinal cord, functions that clearly exhibit purposeful arrangement. Flaws or limitations in one aspect do not override the overall functional complexity and specified arrangements that are signatures of design. Design is evident despite flaws. Moreover, even when human designs exhibit imperfections, they are still recognized as products of intelligence. An airplane with a faulty navigation system does not cease to be the product of design. Its overall structure, the wings, engines, and avionics, all point to intentionality, even if some elements are imperfect. Similarly, software with bugs is still the product of design, as is a semiconductor device that malfunctions under specific conditions. The overall function, complexity, and purpose of these systems point unmistakably to design, regardless of their imperfections. Therefore, the atheist argument that bad design equals no design is incoherent because it imposes an unrealistic standard on what constitutes design in nature. It conflates imperfection with absence of intention, which is an irrational leap in logic. The fallacy of perfectionism. The bad design argument also falls victim to the fallacy of perfectionism, the assumption that anything less than perfect is not designed. This is an unreasonable expectation. Even in human design, perfection is rarely, if ever, achieved. Engineers, architects, and software developers all work with constraints, whether those are material, environmental, or temporal. Likewise, nature operates within certain physical laws and constraints. The fact that something might not function at an ideal level does not imply that it was not designed. It simply means that design often includes trade-offs and compromises. In fact, many examples of alleged bad design turn out, upon closer examination, to serve purposes that were not initially obvious. What appears inefficient or suboptimal may actually have a function that we do not fully understand yet. History is filled with instances where supposed bad design in nature was later recognized as optimal given specific environmental, genetic, or functional constraints. Conclusion. The atheist claim that alleged bad design is proof of no design is not only incoherent, but it also ignores basic principles of logic and rationality. Just as no one would claim that a flawed car, house, or computer is proof that these objects were not designed, it is equally irrational to claim that imperfections in nature are proof that no design exists. Imperfection does not negate design. Instead, it can highlight the complexity of systems and the constraints under which design operates. Ultimately, the bad design argument fails to undermine the overwhelming evidence for intentional design in both human artifacts and the natural world. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and comment below if you agree or would like to add your thoughts. If you would like me to respond to your comment, please make a level 1 comment directly below the video. I will respond to all polite level 1 comments even if it takes me a while, due to other commitments.